Welcome to the stream. It's me. We're chilling once again. And, gonna play some League of Legends. Well, some team fight tactics. Let me get some tunes on. Gotta get a little beat now. Snap. Excuse me, we are playing team fight tactics. Hey, what's up, Stormy? How you been? Coming in a little loud. Let me change my decibels around. Honestly, I've been just getting a lot of difficulty with the levels. Hi, Harry. Some people think will be okay, and some people it will be a little loud. Some people will be too low. Microphone isn't picking up much in the background. We can bring that down a little bit. Couple decibels. There we go. How you been, Stormy? What's going on? Excuse me. I got a frog in my throat. All gold, 3-cost start. I hope they brought their 10-foot pole, and I hope they know where to put it. Are they some newer players? What's this? Going Superfan? Again? It's like literally TFT right now is just like the war of Superfan Jazz. And who can get the Superfan the most. They're 30 sessions minimum experience. You know, I've been there. We're like not even where you've been like you've played with some of these people and you're like, I know you know more than you're leading on right now. Stop being a dum-dum. Traps are funny. They're a funny thing, right? Because very early in the game, they can be very difficult. Or like too difficult or punishing almost, right? And then like very late in the game they can almost become trivial and stupid. And I feel like the application of traps is also very difficult, and I feel like it's more or less I guess design of the trap could be crucial here, but I think it's more or less presentation, how the dungeon master decides to allude to these traps, or you know what the process is for these traps, right? Because a lot of times, like you said, like sometimes the players just don't ever look for them, and they just like so. And also, you don't want them to have this feeling of like, we're gonna check for a trap every 5 feet to punish you as the dungeon master for giving us traps, you know, like. taking the stats. So they've triggered the traps. They know they exist. I don't know what level they are, so I don't know like how punishing a fireball trap would be to them, you know. I think another thing I'm just thinking about traps is like they're not only used for level 7 and more, so that's a nice like mid-tier level, right? So yeah, I mean, I feel like in a lot of spaces like traps can be used in more ways than just like to get the party, and I feel like in a dungeon. I mean, depending on the type of dungeon, if it's like an older dungeon, like these traps might be, some of them might already be triggered, right? And I feel like if you create this like trend or pattern with the traps, then they can almost become like a tool for the players. Like once they get halfway through the dungeon, at least I've played in a dungeon where it's like, oh, we're pretty damn sure there's a trap around that corner, so we're gonna pick this guy up and throw him mid-combat, or like one of us had like a shove action. Bonus action shove, right? So we just bonus action shove them into the trap, and we're like, oh, that sucks. You know, like, so traps can be more than just like, gotcha party, you know? Should be prison for really dangerous criminals. So I don't know, I'd imagine maybe more traps of like, traps that would like capture people, like detain people, right? Maybe not a fireball, but more like a pit, or a fog cloud that refuses to disperse. Magical darkness. Like a lockdown or something, you know, that's what I'm kind of thinking with this prison, right? Like, I also like the idea, like, I think, like, one of the things that, right, like, what I like about fog cloud or, like, darkness, right, is, like, it's a trap that's gonna hinder the party, but not kill them, and, like, punish them so bad that they're not having fun. It's honestly, it's just creating, like, an opportunity to problem solve, right? Like maybe somebody has gust, maybe they don't have gust. You know, maybe they gotta crawl their way out of here like it's like the building's on fire. And they stumble around in this room. And it just like stalls them for time as the guards catch up to them, right? You know, stuff like that. If there are, you know, guards, but I don't, if it's an old prison, then maybe like, then the monsters catch up to them. Like a really, really long trap, so that like it's like almost impossible to pass through this corridor without some means. Does your party have dimension door? It's the first question. They do not. Okay, then yeah, that might be a good idea. That could be a viable option for the trap. Yeah, I think, again, like, application, you know, what is the type of trap that's going to be? Like, is it just, like, a giant breath of fire that burns down the hallway and, like, kills anybody that tries to walk down it? Which could be fine. But I'd also, you know, like, I, as a dungeon master, when I create an encounter or I create like a scenario or like a challenge for my players, I always try to visualize and create like three options to complete that task. So I don't say here's a square hole and the way you complete this is by using a square peg, right? I do the ladder, which is here's a hole that's three shapes and you have three options. It's a horrible analogy. I hope you get what I mean. And honestly, like before you go, like the party always picks the fourth option. Like you prepare three and they pick number four. Like, but enjoy your dinner, Stormy. Thanks for hopping on. We'll see ya. Oh, we're coming along. So we're gonna build Kaisai up now because she's leveled, and this will just win me early game, like outright. I can build Mummy like I'm building Nico. The Jazz Dazzler. It's my favorite thing. Oh, let me see here. We have the Jazz Dazzler here. Oh. Superfan Jazz Wars. Literally, like, this patch needs to get buffed or changed or something because it is significant Superfan Wars. Everybody just built Superfan in some aspect. Or they lose. Yeah, like, look here. Superfan, 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 Superfan. Top 5 builds, Superfan. It's only ever gonna be 2, yeah. Gifts from the fallen, yeah. Do. Little Harry taking a nap, though. Love it. Yeah, honestly, Teamfight Tactics has been a savior for me because I can just sit here and play a game and like I'm entertained. Like most games, like last time I got surgery, like I had to like change the way I played games. I'd play them with like one hand. I did have my right hand, so it was like I was able to do a lot of stuff. Now it's I only have my left hand, so it's like difficult to do everything with just my left, as I am a righty. But like yeah, I'd play like a game and like I'd only could play like half of it, or like I'd be playing it partially the way, and I can't talk today. And it just wouldn't be the same, you know. Like at least this I can play the game and I can play it to its full capacity. Oh, GG. That's games. GG. They're giving me everything I need so I can be a super fan jazz. And hopefully we get a Nico Snooper fan. Oh, nice. I think I still win like this. Yeah, I still got this. Oh, is it broken? Not losing my win streaky here. I'm gonna keep it going. I'm just gonna spend the gold now and boost up ahead. Keep my interest rates high. Yeah, it's over. I literally have every piece to the puzzle for this build. I can just cruise on out until I get a... Show me so many KDAs though. It's hard to say no. Need a boat. Change my headliner too. For an MF. I'm way ahead. Maybe I try rolling for illusion. Chest dummies is so good. Tough decisions here. I think that's the best one though. The crash dummies is so good, and like there's ways you can get more dummies too. Like there's in the beginning you can vote. There's normally an option to get one dummy, and then if you can get the crash dummies, it stacks. And there's other ways to get dummies too. I'd love to have like a front line of dummies. It'd be so funny. There we are. What do we want to do here? Do we just level up? Let's wait around. Yeah, I'm never gonna get to 9 if I don't eco to it. It's so overpowered. Not only do you stun like 5 to 6 characters, but then they have to sit there and attack through the dummy HP. Like, it's so broken. On any team you're playing, it's so broken. Oh, this might be close. Executioners. Oh, I got it. Yeah, so close. Those executioners just pop off sometimes. They get those big critties. Oh, I gotta make sure I sit with good posture. We need that boat. Well, we'll get whatever we get. Cloak would have been nice. The bow's gone. I'll take a chain vest. Give up on you. Don't show up just by experience. I guess I don't have to be a Superfan 4, but I would like to go to Superfan 5. With an eco. This is my build. You can't do my build. No, Chawit. Oh, Chawit's also in first place. The big shot battles. Man, why don't they ever give me the one I want? I don't want this one. Should be more damage. Or 3% damage or something. Like front line, back line, it doesn't matter what you play. The crash mummies get you, and they get you hard. want a gold Kaisai. I'm gonna have to keep her as the headliner there. Isn't exactly the worst. So I'll just go to KDA5, which will stack with my Jazz. Three. Crash dummy those raptors. Protector bow, bench is full. Oh nice, what a great roll for us. Nice, they gave me the bow. Last Sunderer. Now the damage starts flying. Life. Yeah, this is like guaranteed top 4, probably guaranteed top 3. We'll see what I can do on the back end to really kind of like put the cherry on top. We're all fighting for Bards. Probably won't get out. We're all fighting for Kaisais. Probably can get a gold MF though. Maybe a gold Nico. I gotta look around the map and I just don't want him. Because I'm winning and I don't have to. Like at this point it doesn't matter what they have. I just tunnel vision on my build and try to make the right calls for items and stuff. Pretty much wait until I get myself one of them KDAs. If I get like an Ari or if I get an Akali again. I'll just power out to level 9 and start shopping for some of them sweet headliners. If I could get it doesn't matter. The best part about playing a headliner like Lucian would be like he's Jazz or Rapid Fire, so like either or, it's a win. Like I don't care if he's a Jazz 2 or I don't care if he's a Rapid 2. I think they probably net the same. Honestly, the Rapid 2 probably will net better because he'll be doing so much damage as a headliner. Oh man, yeah, we gotta put the cherry on top. We ain't done yet. Giant Slayer? Don't take it. We could do the Heartsteel. No, but I have items. Oh, we could do the Jazz. Oh, they took the Jazz on me! It was so fast. We could do the Jazz, go to Jazz 4, possible? Giant Slayer's fine on her. Okay, alright, so we can take her out when we power level. Hopefully we can do it fast. 40 gold. I'll have no money to reroll because I also have to have money to buy it. It's gonna be 15 gold to buy them. So I really got like this is like an option that you can only take from the lead. Like I have HP to spare right now. Django is at the bottom of the ladder. He's an easy win. Oh. Stretch. No, alright. What'd you make for dinner, bro? Dum-ba-da-dum. Nice. Nice and easy. Good old meat sandwich. Did you do anything fancy with it? Like, I like doing, like, I'll caramelize some onions and, like, lay them over the top with a slice of cheese and, like, melt them on top. I always like doing, like, either onions or, like, I'll do, like, sauteed peppers or peppers and onions. Not a big mushroom fan. Like a mushroom Swiss does not appetize me at all. Oh, you're gonna beat me with your little Annie 5 spell 7. Honestly, a harder build to pull off than it looks. You're like, oh, you just have these Annies and you just get them really early. It's not that simple. Okay, after this round, we kill the dragon. Yes and no. I don't know. I just think it's less about the group complicating it or the people, because it's like I know personally the people that I play with are intelligent people, so like I know them on a personal level. So with that being said, it's like I can distinguish that they have some realm of intelligence. They're not randos to me, right? So I think a lot of times it just comes down to like we see something and they don't see what we want them to see, or they just see something a little different, and or like we describe it a little different. Like I feel like it's more us than it is them. Because like honestly, at the end of the day, like it's hard to kind of explain these things and draw the picture for the players. Like, that's a difficult thing to do. Yeah, and then we could also go and do something like this. Even though I would prefer the Jazz, but I think Big Shot 4 is great. Clear some spots for him. Hold on, the game's getting a little intense here on the last 5 minutes. I'll catch up with your conversation in a second. care about the Bard, actually. Yeah, I don't care about that Bard. I don't care about this Echo. Ooh, look at me go. This is a new endgame. Woo! Get him! Get him! Oh, he's got more bench slots than me! The fuck? I gotta clear my bench! 8-bit, Punk, shit, I gotta go. Lucian, I guess this is gonna take Infinity Edge. Yeah! No! I hate when I don't get it! What'd they give me? It's trash! Alright, we're gonna put items on him. Come on, give me the MFs! Give me the MFs! Ah! Trying to get like a silver Lucian or at least a gold MF here. I can't get an MF if they're rolling MFs. Oh my gosh, they've done it better. They do it better than I did it. What was their build too? I had a silvered out headliner Jin there. I would have liked to have the Jazz Rapid Fire. I think my build would have been better. I think. Take the points though. So they were Bruiser. Oh, they had a silver Jin. Who was their headliner? Big Shot 1. Big Shot. 4 Big Shot. Guardian. Jazz. Bruiser. Interesting. Like, I don't know, it's like you get these big buffs and power-ups when you get the big pairings, but like you just see a build like that where like, oh, they just get they just get a Guardian 2 and a Bruiser 2, and they just do it with 2 of the gold champions. Like, the gold champions are just so much more powerful. Alright. I'm gonna bring it with me here, and let's see what you said. Yeah, sorry, the game gets a little intense at the end there, so it's just hard to read chat at the same time. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times, like players, like they just play scared. Like they just play cautious and nervous. Um, and yeah, it's like just go in the room. So I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want to. Right? Maybe they just didn't want to open these rooms. Is what it sounds like by the last statement, but yeah, I don't know. Like a lot of times, I guess like when I'm DMing and there's like something that like should be really simple for the players to figure out, and I want to just tell them, like I'll quite literally just be like, I'll like force it through somebody's senses. So like my last session, I had a rabbit folk, a hair gun. And like quite often I would be like, the hair on the back of your neck sticks up, and you can sense danger in that room. Or, like in this case, if those rooms were safe, and I thought that the party was being too cautious, and just like it's like, dude, just go in the room. It's fine. You'll be fine. You know, like I would be like, oh, in the silence, you hear a whisper from your god Shantea. That whispers everything will be okay, right? Like something like that, or like you listen easily with your ears, and just your passive perception, you can hear that there's nothing behind this room, or at least nothing making any noise. And like a lot of times, you see how I had two statements there, where I said there's nothing in there, or at least there's nothing making any noise. So I'm saying, hey, there's nothing in there, but then I'm also like saying, you know, like maybe, you know, so I'm not just like literally just saying, oh, go in there, there's nothing in there, the room's fine. Like it's like a role play sandwich, right? Like I take the perception of the ears and I use their passive perception to my advantage. I tell them what I want to tell them, and then I cover it once more with another bit of role play, you know. And like maybe that could have helped in this situation, as if it was, you know, overly cautious. But like a lot of times, another thing I like to do is, you know, we're always like caught up in this meta brain of the game, and like what you should know, what you shouldn't know, and what players can know and can't know, and what they act upon, right? But like a lot of times, I feel like there's situations where an adventurer or like a rogue or somebody who's like been in dungeons, right? Like a level 7 character possibly would have the know-with-all to figure out like the puzzle, right? So you can just like pick a player that has the most experience in this situation, like pick the rogue out of the party and be like, like your character remembers something like this once before. They did training with pressure plates, you know, and normally pressure plates like require this much weight to be triggered, right? And just like give them that next piece of information, but like again, try to like pick a path to give them that information through. Make a story reason for it. Just like to kind of cover your tracks. It's like being a DM is like is the suspended fantasy, right? But yeah, like in general, it's like that's something I guess I struggle with too. I think all dungeon masters struggle with it at the end of the day, is the application and the presentation of what you want the party to see and what you want them to do. Like, for example, I have a room with pressure plate traps. I want them to figure out that they need to put 6 things on 6 plates to open this door. And you know, like that's the crux of that. Like, creating that encounter is really easy, and like in creation and in your mind, it feels really easy, and you're like, yeah, this solution is really easy. But then you play the phone game when you role play, is the best way to describe it. It's like the phone game, right? You describe something, they see something else, they describe it to their party members to try to think of a plan, someone else sees something else, you have 3 people seeing something 3 different ways, yada yada yada, you know. So like, it's just something to bear in mind, and it's like I was like just giving my party the benefit of the doubt. But I guess, I mean, yeah, I mean, and that's the beauty of it, is you don't want this door that is impassable to take the fun out of your game. So if as the DM you need to say, oh, you accidentally trip on a plate and open this door to keep the game going, that's totally okay, right? And I'm sure you guys still had fun. But I guess, like, what the goal is, or in my opinion, the goal as a dungeon master, I think in that situation, is if I was creating an encounter, right? Like, so here's a great example, right? So you're gonna have the 6-plate pressure plate door, the hard puzzle for them to figure out to get through this door to get past where they want to go, right? But then give them a second option, and have the second option be the barbarian try hard, just run my head into the wall, right? Have that be that long corridor of 120 feet with like a flame weapon shooting down it. So it's like, hey, you can sit here and you can try to work together as a party to figure out the easy solution, you know, and be smart. Or at any point in time, you can give up and you can just go take a whole bunch of damage and run through this hallway, and you'll be in the same spot you want to be, right? Give them 2 options so that they can at least like keep the forward momentum of the linear story, right? Like I said, it's all about options. You want to give your players options on how to play the game, and they'll always surprise you. Alright, here we go. We got 12. We're gonna do one more TFT. Take a little breaky break. We gotta get some more food in me. Well, so that's something that I'm like I guess I'm not excited for or looking forward to in the aspect of visual application, right? So a lot of times when I make maps, it's the only aid I have to tell somebody about a trap or something like that is through words, descriptively, right? And a lot of times it's easier to have like a visual cue, but the struggle with that is you need to have like a standard of visual, right? So if I'm using Photoshop and I'm making maps and pulling pictures off the internet and my maps are always looking different, there's no standard. But I have sinceforth, as you've seen, started using Dungeon Alchemist, right? And with Dungeon Alchemist, actually, I'll love to I'll actually probably do a short video on this. This is a good idea. With Dungeon Alchemist, the walls are all unison and uniformed, right? They all look the same. And then when you put a secret door onto that wall, it gives it like 2 pillars and just gives it this little bit different of a look. So if one person was, say, in a room and they were looking at all the walls equally, visually, like the person, not the player, like us, me, they'll visually see some type of visual cue. They'll be like, oh, why is that piece of wall different? Maybe my character should go over there and do maybe an investigation check. Oh, there's a secret door here, you know, maybe we should try and figure out how this secret door works. We didn't find a lever, maybe there's a pressure plate or a button somewhere else in the room. And again, like, that's a description that you can just tell the character as they're looking. Oh, you investigate this secret door, you feel the seam, you're 100% sure there's a door here, but you can't find any way to open it. Maybe there's something else in the room, right? And then go send them on that adventure, or give them that inspiration to go look elsewhere in the room. Start digging through shelves, start pulling books for hidden levers, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, right? Like, there's whatever method you want to choose. I mean, so another way this is done, in my opinion, is with Fog of War. And this is like when it comes to meta, where it's like, you know, me as the person, I can see the map and I can see that you Fog of War'd this portion of the room. So there's probably a door or something or a way for me to get over there, right? So it's a similar function to that, but I feel like it feels more natural, and it feels more like what you should be seeing, as opposed to having to be like, oh, like my character searches the entire room for secret doors, right? When you know you should just be searching in the bottom left corner because you can see the Fog of War, right? You don't want to say, hey, I go to that bottom left corner because I can see the Fog of War. I'm going to investigate there for a door. Like, that's not fun D&D. Like, that's not creative. That's not, you know, a story. Da, 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 da. Bing. Ooh, that's fun. I never got to do it because my campaign just started to fall apart. I was going to do like a castle or a temple with multiple portals, so almost like a portal puzzle where you see all these portals in this room, and one brings you to one and one brings you to the other, and you're trying to get here, and you go through one and you go through the wrong one, and you're like dang it, like, well, I gotta go through a different one. So yeah, I was excited to do that. I never got to do it. And like my intention for it was to do, like, every time you go through a portal, it would bring you to like an elemental realm. So like you go through one portal, it brings you to a fire realm, and then you gotta like fight your way through a short encounter of fire creatures and get to the other side and go through the portal, and then boop, then you go up the stairs, right? The equivalent of going upstairs at the end of the day. Dum dum da 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 da. Oh. Is that good attack speed? A little bit of attack speed. A little bit of both. Yeah, I mean, it's something that I think we always can get better at, and every time we play, we do get better at. It's something that you kind of like build and grow into. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think honestly, like that's like what I love. What I love about being a dungeon master. I guess it's similar with like the stream too. You know, it's like every time I do the stream, or every time I dungeon master, or every time I make a map. I guess it's true in most things in life. You know, I get a little bit better, and it's like a goal of mine to learn one thing. So like when my next session, like I have a couple things that I want to try, and you know, like you're always just trying to like every session just try and get a little bit better, get a little better, and then like you look back after 2 years and you're like, wow, like I can't believe I ever did that in my session. It's like we'll never do that again. It's a horrible mechanic, or that was like a horrible storytelling device, right? But I think just like a lot of people get caught up in the like, you know, the what if it's bad, the what if it's not good as dungeon masters, and really it's more about like what you said before, like, well, we had fun, right? You know, it's just creating the space to allow that fun to happen. And that can be as easy as just saying, hey, we're just gonna fight a couple monsters tonight, right? And if that's how your sessions start off, and that's, you know, where you're comfortable as a dungeon master, say, hey, here's a couple monsters, hey, we'll do this. We'll go back to town, just keep it simple, keep it easy, and like, that's gonna be more fun than not playing Dungeons and Dragons, I guarantee it, right? And then every session, just get a little bit better, add a little bit more role play, add a little bit more story, you know, let the party grow in how they vibe. And I definitely think it's true with most parties, is like when any party starts off, even, you know, really experienced players, new players, all sorts of players, right? Everybody. It's really slow and difficult to start role-playing with each other. You need to figure out, you know, like how the thematic of the party, who's good at what, and who's going to take care of what jobs, and kind of also like who the characters are and what they would be inspired to talk about, right? So all these things kind of like get brought up with a new party. So it's like things start slow, and I think it's like it's healthy to kind of set your expectations accordingly, and to give your party a chance to grow together, and to give the players a chance to grow together. It's like the feel of a party after like playing for a year or two is just so much different than like, you know, a new party. Cause I'm not shy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, I'm losing this round. Well, I mean, think about that though. You know, if your party's already struggling with having the gumption to, you know, go through the door and go explore something, you start throwing too many red herrings in front of them, you're just gonna slow it down. But if that's what you want, you know, go for it. I can't go crowd diver. Everyone's going crowd diver. Yeah, I agree. But if it used to be a prison, you could also have the argument that, you know, so a lot of these traps have been triggered. Why did it used to be a prison? Was there a prison break? Did the prison just get decommissioned? You know, and then also, I mean, I guess like maybe it could, I mean, if you've already made the map, then I don't know if this applies anymore, but I think possibly a good idea could be, maybe like there's a path through, like do a dungeon with a lot of traps, but then like have a path that's already been cut through the traps. So if they find the path and they keep on the path, then they'll run into less traps or hardly any traps. But in order for them to find that path would be very difficult. So therefore, like, there are going to be inevitably be times that they do just run into some traps. And then also, I mean, there's like another way to think about that, right? So like, encounters in Dungeons and Dragons can come in many different shapes and sizes, right? So if you want to do a lot of traps, then maybe I would suggest having not so many monsters or not so many fighting encounters, right? Have a majority of the session just be traps and such. Ooh, so close. Well, I don't get the dead mimics bit, because is it really a trap if it's a dead mimic? They're just dead, right? Am I right? Am I wrong in thinking that? Oh, dude, they just broke the game, baby. Let's go. Save that for Kaisa. Well, I guess, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not really a trap. It's just like it's a mechanic. It's just, you know, it's a device to set fear. But in my eyes, it's gonna slow everything down. This is gonna make the players want to go slow and be worried about things, which is fine if that's what you're going for, and there's like a reason for that, right? Like maybe you want them to go slow because there's things they should be looking for. But I would surmise that a prison doesn't really have much loot or stuff in it, and the goal would be just getting out. And like also like a dead mimic, like, so like if it's an encounter, the encounter should make you spend resources. So if your encounters are going to be traps and it's just a dead mimic, I don't see how you're spending resources. It'd be just a couple checks and then you figure out, yeah, it's dead. Do. Da-dum, 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 da, yeah. Do. Well, that's what I mean. Not everything needs to be an encounter. Like, the encounter can be something different than just like a fight. You know, yeah. So I mean, it's up to what you want the session to feel like, right? So like, I don't know, like, what are you? I guess we'll start there. Like, what are you trying to accomplish with the session? Like, what's your goal? They will find a dugout passageway that leads into an ancient place. So they're traveling through this old prison to find a dugout passageway, like a someone dug a tunnel or something. And then there's going to be a big boss fight there. They don't know. So do they know why they're down here searching? Is this gonna, like, why are they down here searching if they don't know that this passageway exists? So someone hired them to come down into the prison to find a ruby necklace, and then they'll just so happen to find this tunnel, and then they'll have the BBG fight. I'm just trying to get everything, like, placed properly in my head. That's jazz, baby. So, okay, well, I guess, yeah, you just necessarily need them to, just a mini-boss, okay. Yeah, you want them to be wandering, you want them to wander aimlessly in this dungeon until they find this tunnel. Is the necklace going to be on the mini-boss? So, like, maybe that's a good idea. Like, and this is entirely the point. It's like, you as the DM decide what you need, what you're trying to do, right? So it sounds like you want them to be wandering aimlessly. So they'll find that, or the treasure in this. So the treasure room's gonna have the necklace probably, and maybe have two different things. Yeah, I mean, maybe you can add to the psychological horror. You can do the dead mimic doors all over the place, and then, like, maybe have, like, some ghosts, or, like, some like paranormal stuff that goes on to, like, freak them out, to scare them out of one room and into another room. Some poltergeist shit. Dun 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 dun. Nice. We love it when you get a good roll. Let's just upgrade her now. Word, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I would just... It really comes down to, like, what your party has and stuff, so it's like... the way I see an encounter isn't by something that's, like, going to fight you. Like I said, it's something that's going to make you use resources. So, like, I have to use a channel divinity to make sure that this room actually is clear of creatures, and these are just, you know, ethereal punches from the verse, right? Like, none of this is actually, like, ooh, that would be fun, but no. There isn't any actual danger here, or, like, in the same sense, like, maybe make spellcasters use detect magic, or make spellcasters use misty steps, stuff like that. Just read sheets and try and think of encounters for the party inside that prison. And just find ways for them to use resources. Like if you have a barbarian, like maybe put a pile of rocks in a doorway that, you know, they'll probably have to, you know, rage to get advantage so that they can move the rocks. Like stuff like that. No, what's your goal? Let's go. I don't feel like those two things are separate. I feel like those things are like both part of running a session. I think it's important for characters to be using their character sheets and their resources, but it's also important for them to have storytelling devices that they can push forward for. I think in a lot of aspects, players that aren't so good at role playing use their sheet and their mechanics to help them role play. So yeah, I mean, I don't think those two things are like separate. Damn, she does a lot of damage, don't she? Don't care about you. I definitely don't care about you. I think it's just like, I don't know, I think it's like our responsibility as a dungeon master to make sure like we do everything. So I actually talked about this before, right? So it's like we are kind of like responsible to do everything, and I kind of see it as like a pie chart, or like, have you ever played like was it Soul Calibur, or like games where they have like the grid, or like the polygon grid of like, oh, this much attack damage, this much speed, right? So it's like as dungeon masters, we personally, like me and you, we each have different skills, right? It seems like you're a little bit more skilled in world building, and that's kind of your passion, right? Likewise, right? So it's like we all have different skill levels and all these different aspects of the game, and I think the blend of those is what our games end up looking like. But I think at all times, like I was saying before, like you want to get a little bit better, you want to try a new thing, you want to, you know, always be improving. Like in that aspect, like you're trying to fill up your stat sheet, like a Skyrim character or something, you know, like you can, you know, work on stuff that you're not so good at. Like for me personally, like I feel like building a scene that feels like that brings characters to life. I feel like my characters that I introduce always kind of fall behind the storyline, and they don't feel as real to my players. And that's like one of the things that I'm going to be working on in my next campaign. Is I want to create a campaign where my characters think about my NPCs often and want to roleplay them, seek them out, and use them for advantages, or use them for story, or what have you, right? Yeah, I'm starting to play. I play a Pathfinder game on Saturday. I do this Pathfinder First Edition, and one moment. Oh, I want the Sunderer. Oh, give me the Nico. And I'm already noticing like the mechanically it functions way different. So like in that sense, I mean honestly, I'd look to the dungeon manual. It's like when I say encounters, like a lot of times in D&D, it's like quite literally like like you have a session or you have like the time in between long rest. You normally have like a certain amount of encounters to keep the balance like kind of somewhere where it's somewhat difficult for the party mates to exist, to live, to accomplish their goals. So that's why I say like it's good to use those resources in a certain scale, because at least in D&D, it's very important for the balance of the game. Like if you can just long rest after every fight or after everything you do, your power level is much higher than it would be considered in many other scenarios. Yeah, I'm playing a Magus, and like you can also not only can you like everybody can use meta magic almost. It's like a pit. It's very interesting. Dun, dun, da, 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 dun, 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 da. Dun, dun, da, dun, da. Yeah, very much that, right? The preparation is a lot different. The resources are a lot more strict, I think. But also, I think things like skill checks are a lot more lenient because they have things like take 10, and I believe there's a take 20. I'm not sure how that functions. I believe I know how take 10 works. So yeah, I'm honestly personally I don't know much about the Pathfinder system, so I'm going to be learning, and I'll be able to talk more about it like as I figure it out. 10 plus your proficiency, right? Yeah. So it's like it's definitely different, and I like that. That's why I'm looking for something different. It's always good to kind of spread your wings and just see stuff, because like on that like I went and spread my wings and played Blaze in the Dark, and there's like several things from Blaze in the Dark that I just loved that I want to bring with me. Um, ah, come on, give me what I want. Trying not to freaking burn too much. Yeah, so I like that in the sense of it just like it gives a little bit more practicality to like some mundane things you're doing, right? Like once you get to a certain skill level, you should be able to pick the basic lock, right? Like you've done this 1,000 times, your character knows how to do it. You're not gonna sneeze when you roll a 2, and now all of a sudden you can't do this task, right? There it is. got here? Giant sleigh. We don't have one of those out there yet. This is the permanent superfan Jazz Wars. Yeah, like I think that's a really cool mechanic, and it's something that like I enjoy. Is that so, little hairy cat? Got the Nico. Let's go. Do you have Kaisa? No, you don't. So yeah, I can roll out for golds on all these, I think. I would like to go to level 9, though. Yeah, the system is the building character building system is very interesting. I will give it that. It was definitely like a lot getting into it, but I think again like the best thing to do in that situation is to just pick something and go with it, right? You bitch. Yo, this Lee Sin's getting me going. Dude's not even Jazz. I go, you motherfucker. I go, you stole that from me. You did it on purpose. He goes, I disagree. I am Jazz. I'm Jazz 1 now. Is fat. The fattest Nico. We're just gonna put a Mosher out there for the time being. Oh, never mind. Oh, give me the bard. You. Yeah, it's kind of a beautiful system. And like also like on that like you can you can incorporate magic very easily, and like you can essentially make the multi-class that you want, that you see. You first place, Superfan Jazz. Uh, until they nerf it. Um, yeah, like and that's what I'm kind of excited for. But like it's hard to kind of do that or utilize that without knowing how the system works. But I very much am excited to kind of like learn that system and then have the ability to kind of create a ranger that's like a little bit more focused on magic, or like you know, like I love the idea of just like a Gish. I'm a huge Gish player, so like I will very frequently play magic fighter martial mix. So like I feel like the system's really good for that. Um, but like also on top of that, you can just go and say, hey, I'm just gonna be a magus, right? It's like they have a class for you already, but also you can kind of create and build your own little character. But you can add magic like magic initiates in similar fashion, can you not? And or just quite literally multi-class. All right, well, I gotta take a break. I gotta get some breakfast slash lunch, call it brunch, in me. I'll probably like lay down for a little bit, and then I might be on like an hour or so. Do some world building. Yeah, yeah, but that's what I mean. Is like you can give them magic, but you can also not give them magic. So like the reason why I bring up Ranger is because, um, like the Ranger class in and of itself, I think the reason why it struggles in D&D or just struggles in general in most game mechanics is because our idea of a Ranger is very different than like yours and his than theirs and her. Like there's so many different styles of Ranger. There's like Aragorn from The Lord of the Rings, who doesn't use any magic at all, but is very like in tune with nature and but also like there's The Witcher, who's pretty much a ranger but does use magic, has like very simple magic, but also like does potions and such. Then you have like like bounty hunter type ideas where it's like there's so many different types of ranger, and like making one class to fit them all is hard. So I think that's why D&D fails at it. But I think that's what is exciting about Pathfinder, is that you can add to the characters in the manner you see fit and kind of create the character that you see the ranger. You get to be the ranger that you see. Um, like are you like Blade? Are you like a ranger that fights like undead? Like you're like what's your specialization, right? So it's like there's so many different types. Yeah, it's like a druid fighter, right? You're like a half caster and like a fighter that focuses on your bow, kind of. And it just comes out as lame. And honestly, I would probably contest that I could make a better multi-class fighter druid that would function and perform much more effectively and with much more damage than a ranger could. Um, I know I can. I 100% know I can. So it's like, um, that also shouldn't be a thing. Like I don't know what level 20 feels like in Pathfinder, but in D&D it's what they've done is they've created a system that doesn't reward you for being level 20. So the only rewards that you find are in multi-classing. Yeah, dude, there's so many combos that you can do. There's so many like not even. You can just go Starry Druid 3 and twice per day you can have a D8 light damage bow shoot from behind you like a spirit weapon almost. Um, it's like you do the math, it's like 20 D8s per day that you get bonus action shots. It's like it's just so much free damage. But hey, it was good chatting to you, Stormy. I will be on in like an hour or so. If you're still around, you want to come hang out again. I'm gonna switch the stream over. I'll do some more world building. Um, been busting out some Daggerford stuff and getting on some graphic art and stuff. So take it easy. Have a good night.